Wildlife conservation has been critical to sustaining Africa's heritage, and nowhere is this more thoroughly practiced than in Kenya. But there was a time that the animal population in Kenya was diminishing due to hunting and poaching. This forced the Kenyan government to launch cutting-edge conservation practices throughout the country. Tourism, one of Kenya's biggest money earners, also incorporated conservation as tourists began flocking to view the incredible wildlife of the Masai Mara and other national game parks. Local Kenyans who formerly viewed these animals as a threat to livestock now began to understand the immense value that wildlife offered the country. As visitors came, so did the opportunity for new jobs, access to health care, and overall, a better livelihood for those living in the bush. Today in Kenya, every traveler on safari has the opportunity to explore the wide range of conservation projects. An unexpected example of conservation in action is the Scottish-style estate of Betty and Jock Melville, just outside Nairobi. The couple set up a protected environment for giraffe and appropriately renamed the property Giraffe Manor. In 1974, 2 endangered Rothschild giraffe were moved onto the estate for protection and breeding. Later, the Melvilles founded the Giraffe Center right on the property so Kenyan school children and other visitors could learn ecology and feed the giraffe eyeball to eyeball.
They do love it, and when you get kissed by a giraffe, there's normally an experience, and you can hear the laughter of screaming joy, which is really nice.
Just a few hours from Nairobi is the Olpaheta Conservancy, and within the Conservancy's 90,000 acres lies the Sweetwater's Chimpanzee Sanctuary. Established in 1993 with the help of world-famous chimpanzee expert Jane Goodall, this sanctuary is now home to 43 orphaned and abused animals. Here, new arrivals are protected, cared for, and nourished back to health. What started as a sanctuary for the animals has now become one of Kenya's largest conservation attractions, where visitation is limited to encourage a more natural environment for the chimps.
We normally have only 3 hours per day for visitors. 1 hour, 30 minutes in the morning, and 1 hour, 30 minutes in the evening to give chimpanzee free time.
So true to the idea of sustainable conservation, everyone benefits. Visitors get to see the chimps close up, the only place in Kenya that offers such an activity. And the chimps are given the opportunity to regain strength and establish bonds that were broken when they were orphaned. Some of the most endangered animals in Kenya are the black and white rhino. This is Morani, a black rhino who was brought to the Olpaheta Animal Sanctuary when his mother was killed by poachers. He lives in a 100-acre enclosure, plenty of room for a pampered rhino, and is watched over 24 hours a day. Though he's as big as a truck, Morani will let you pet him behind the ears, the only rhino in the world that will. New ecotourism camps and wildlife reserves are popping up around the country, always keeping 3 key factors in mind. Establish a safe environment for wildlife to thrive, incorporate the local populace into this long-term solution to create a sustainable way of living, and preserve Kenya's environment to ensure tourism thrives.
I think everyone's quite excited about the ecotourism term and clinging onto it and adopting it as their mantra for their camps.
Kenya's safari camps now use wood already torn down by elephants to build their lodging. They hire local people to enhance cultural interaction with visitors and are beginning to craft creative ways to encourage locals to prevent overgrazing of their cattle. The conservation challenges will never go away, but Kenya will always remain on the cutting edge of ecotourism.
What does ecotourism mean to me? Giving back to the community, using the resources in a sustainable way, and generally respecting the wildlife and the environment.